Yo, what's up? It's me, it's your boys, JSF. How y'all doing? Sorry for the long pause there. Dude, so you read the title correctly. I don't know what I'm a title list, but I'm sure it's gonna be something along the lines of a way to give a spoiler away. But I played Street Fighter 6 today, man. If I sound a little excited, if I sound a little flustered, it's because I spent a lot of time playing Street Fighter 6 today. It was a lot of back and forth in it, so it wasn't all very continuous and consistent. But I played a lot of games. I played at least 10 games, at least. Nah, more than that. I probably played at least 20 games of Street Fighter 6. I played every character, but I played Ryu the most because he's the most I'm most familiar with, and probably Luke the second most, but the majority of the time was Ryu. But yeah, I played Street Fighter 6. There are some things that I noticed or found out that nobody has talked about publicly, or that I haven't seen anybody mention publicly. So I want to do say I have some brand new information about the game. I'm not trying to click baby like, yo, new Street Fighter 6 info. Like, there are some things that I found out just through playing it that I didn't know. And maybe somebody else could have found it out through some other gameplay, but I didn't know. But anyway, if y'all want me to do more YouTube and more Street Fighter 6 content, like the shit out of the video, leave mad comments. Just me seeing the views, the likes, and the comments will let me know that y'all want to see more. But anyway, let's talk about some general things that I noticed as I was playing. These are kind of my first impressions in playing Street Fighter 6 today. I'm going to play some more tomorrow. I'm going to play a lot more tomorrow. I'm going to get there as early as possible. By the way, if any of you guys that don't know how I got to play, I was at San Diego Comic Con. I go into San Diego Comic Con at least 2 days. I can go all four, but I got other obligations and things I got to do. But anyway, let's get to the Street Fighter. One of the first things that I noticed was, let's just talk about the general character stuff, right? Out of all the characters, I'll say Luke feels very similar to Street Fighter 5 Luke, but nerfed. He feels like he's been toned down significantly. He does not feel as strong as he does in Street Fighter 5, but that could be because the characters in Street Fighter 6 are built a little different. Not even trying to be like cute with that, just they're designed a little different. So that could be part of it, or they could have nerfed him, right? He feels that way. Ryu feels buffed as hell. Ryu feels like he can do anything. Like, playing Ryu, I never felt like I didn't have an option. I felt like, oh no, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this. Like, Ryu feels great. Jamie feels really like, Jamie looks cool and looks good, but I could not for the life of me play him. He seems very straightforward, but I couldn't even figure out how to do like the kick ender of his record series to take the drinks. I figured out how to manually drink and finally got drunk. But well, of course I know how to manually drink. But I couldn't figure out how to do the kick ender that I've seen people doing videos before. I didn't play much Jamie. I played him the least because he's just not. I don't like Yang and Yun. I'm just throwing it out there. Chun-Li feels good. Chun-Li feels strong, but she feels technical, which I like. Because Chun is a character like Guile, where they're always good, but Guile's usually dumb easy, and Chun feels like she has some technicality to her. One major thing that I noticed with Chun Li that's different, and this is a brand new change that I don't think anybody's mentioned. Chun Li's EX spin and bird kick is not a DP, so EX bird is no longer invincible whatsoever. Now, this could mean one of two things. It could mean she doesn't have a DP, or it could mean Tin Shell Kick is her DP. I did EX Tin Shell Kick, but I didn't get to test if it was invincible or not. Because when you play at the booth that they have set up at Comic Con, you have to play against somebody else. Like, you don't get to just play against the CPU. And at first they were doing one game a piece, so you play one game, you get off. But then they started doing like best 2 out of 3, so you can play some more games. But I never got to test if Ten Show Kick EX was invincible. So that's probably her DP, which would mean she has a down DP, which is really good just in general in fighting games. If you don't have to put in a direction or do the Z motion for a DP, that's just really fucking good. So it's either that or she doesn't have a DP, which is interesting. But yeah, her stance I didn't use much. Took me a minute to figure it out, but when I used it, she's got all different normals out of that stance, which is really, really cool. I already talked about Ryu, Luke, and Jamie. Yeah. So, more general things that I noticed is parry into drive rush, like in neutral. So, you can dash cancel certain normals. Like, you can do a stand heavy punch into dash cancel, right? On block or on hit. It comes out on block or on hit. You can do a parry in neutral into dash cancel too, but parry into dash cancel was not working for me, not consistently. It was very, very inconsistent. It might be that I don't know the timing, The setups I played on were not that laggy. I played on one laggy setup, but then I was like, I'm not playing on arcade stick again, bro. They have Xbox arcade sticks and then PlayStation controllers, PS5 controllers. So when I played on PS5 pad, it felt great, and most of them were good. There was one setup I played on that was kind of laggy with the PS5 controller, but the rest were good. I have very little to no complaints. Like, it's not gonna be perfect, but it felt good enough. Like that, it's not holding me back that far. I did miss some inputs, but the game is a game. But yeah, neutral, just parry into drive rush was not consistent. I could do it sometimes, but it was just not consistent at all. So take that, do what you will with that information. They might fix it later on. It might just be the setups. But the other thing is, this is probably an obvious one, but you can't cancel overheads in the drive rush. So like if I'm playing Ryu, I can't do forward medium punches overhead into drive rush. Now I tried it because I was like, yo, if you can do this, this shit is Mortal Kombat X. Like, it's OD. I was like, if you can do this, this is gonna be. It's gonna be. I mean, the overheads are reactable, but if you could have did that, like getting a combo off overhead when you have, crouch and medium kick, it would have been crazy. But you can do what like Ryu crouch and medium kick into drive rush. So like you can dash cancel a crouch and medium kick and go into a combo, which is cool. But you can't do it with the overheads if anybody was wondering. Another thing that I noticed is there are a lot of choices in this game. You have meter, right? Like you have your drive rush, your drive meter at the top. You can parry, you can drive impact. Drive impact seems really strong. However, there are hard counters to it. It's the same thing with parry, right? Like I know some people think parry's overpowered. Parry never felt overpowered to me because you can just throw them out of it. There's no question. Parrying jump-ins didn't seem to work that well. I mean, I guess you can start holding parry as soon as they go in the air, but then that makes it more obvious that you're trying to parry. It makes it more like, oh, I can just empty jump since you're clearly trying to parry. You could try to time a perfect parry, but then you need to know about roughly when a jump in is going to land. So I don't think parry seems overpowered, even though it's frame one. Parry is literally starts frame one, and it's, it eats up attacks. I think parrying will be important, though, because you parry to build drive meter. However, if you're just holding parry, your meter is going down. So it's very simple. Press a button. Like you can parry with L2, right? Press a button. However, it's very technical in the application of it. And this is what I really like about Street Fighter 6. It has very simple controls, very simple everything. But like the chess game, like the mindset behind it is super technical. If you just do shit, it's gonna punish you. And that was the other thing I noticed is that burnout lasts a really, really, really long time. Burnout lasts a while. I mean, burnout probably like 15 seconds, bro. Like it was a long time. I didn't count, but it wasn't less than 10. It was not less than 10 seconds of burnout. Like it's a while. And when you're in burnout, you can't do anything that costs drive meter, right? So you can't dash cancel, you can't parry, you can't drive impact, you can't drive reversal, which is a V reversal if you don't know, right? So you can't do a lot of things in the game without it. You can still use your supers, but that brings me to my next point. And this is something else that I've never heard anybody talk about. I don't think supers are invincible. I know that sounds weird. Level 3s might be. I haven't got to test it out fully. Like I said, I can only play against other players, not the CPU. But I know for a fact, Ryu's level 2 super, the Hashogeki super or whatever, is not invincible. It's no invincibility. Like, it's just not. So, I don't know what that means for level 1s, or if it's going to vary from character to character. But at least one level 2 super in this game has no invul. So do with that information what you will. I would like to assume level 3s will be invincible, but if level 1s and level 2s are not invincible, I'm okay with that because EX DPs are in the game, right? And you have Wake Up Parry. But if you're in Burnout, all you have is probably level 3, which I think is fair because you need to manage your damn meter. What else did I notice about this game? As far as like the day one early impression stuff, I think that's it. I talked about Chun spinning bird kick not being a DP. You got a lot of choices in this game, a lot of different things you can do. It's a good problem though, right? This is the kind of game that the first time you play it, you're not really gonna know what you're doing. And the second or third time, just because there's so many options, you're gonna forget to parry, you're gonna forget you can drive rush, forget to drive impact, forget drive. I didn't drive reversal once. And it took me a minute to start parrying, but I was doing drive impact in game one. So, and yes, drive impact is unblockable in the corner. Yes, you get crushed. So you got to jump, you got to parry, you got to grab. You can grab them on a drive impact reliably. So there is counterplay. Even though stuff like that seems really powerful, there's counterplay to pretty much everything, right? Wow, is that you? Yeah, like I said, Luke feels kind of nerfed. Ryu feels buffed. Chun feels tweaked. I can't say buffed because she's good in Street Fighter V. She doesn't feel bad though. She feels good. Jamie seems good, but he was the hardest character to use for me. That could just because of all the other characters I have legacy skill with. Even Luke, I've played in Street Fighter V, so I'm familiar with. So yeah, other than that, that was my general thoughts, feelings, and stuff about the game. Some new information. I got a perfect on somebody. I'm pretty much the best Street Fighter 6 player on the planet right now. So clap it up for your boy. I'm already out here going ham in Street Fighter 6. I got combos already with Ryu. You know, you can do like stand heavy punch or forward heavy punch, dash cancel, stand medium, crouch medium, donkey kick. You know how I go. You know how I go. You got a little bit of combos. You know, if you charge up, if you Dingin charge, which is down punch. Oh, there is one more thing I want to talk about. Thank God it in the video. Modern controls. I tried modern controls. And modern controls is interesting. This is something that I don't know if anybody's talked about. I can't reference it, and I've watched as much Street Fighter 6 content as possible. Modern controls are interesting because you do have limited control of the character, right? So, like, if you pick Ryu and do modern controls, if you press light button, he's going to do his light jab, his punch, right? But if you do crouching light button, he's going to do his crouching short, like his crouching kick. So he doesn't do his crouching jab punch, right? Also, there are certain moves in modern controls I could not figure out to do. However, if you're in modern controls, you can still do the classic controls. Let me make this make sense, right? So you have light, medium, heavy, and special, right? If you just press the special button, you get a Hadouken. However, you can do quarter circle forward light and get a Hadouken. So when you do the special button with modern controls, it always gives you the heavy version of the special move. I don't think I've heard anybody mention this, so I might be breaking some new ground here. But if you, as the build of the game that I played on, if I do press triangle on a PlayStation controller, right, and I want to do, Hadouken, if I do forward and triangle for DP, down and triangle for donkey kick, it was always the heavy version of the move. Now, if you want to do the light or medium versions of the moves, you can do it, but you have to do the command. And that's something that, like, nobody told me. I just tested out. So, like, even if I'm playing modern controls, I can do quarter circle forward, light attack, and I'll get light Hadouken. Quarter circle forward, medium attack, get medium Hadouken. Quarter circle forward, heavy attack, heavy Hadouken. Same with DP, same with Tatsu. Dingin charge is down. So there is no shortcut to do Dingin charge. It's just down. So and I'm speaking as Ryu because this is who I tested this with. So for Ryu to do Dingin charge, even in modern controls, it's still down in a button. However, his donkey kick, I could not find a way to do whatsoever. Because if you think about it, the input for donkey kick is quarter circle forward. It's the same input as Hadouken. I'm not saying it's impossible to do. I'm saying I could not find out a way to do it. I have no idea how to do it in modern controls. And that's going to be the thing that, like, hinders modern controls. Not only do you not have control of what button you press, like light jab or light short, you don't have control over that. There seem to be some moves that you either can't do or have some weird, interesting way to do. I couldn't figure it out. It was a hard time figuring out how to do EX moves too. So yeah, modern controls are interesting. That's the way I'll describe them. They aren't completely useless, but I don't think they're reliable enough to be used in any, like, serious competitive setting in the way they are now. It can change in the future build, but that's what I got. But anyway, those are my early impressions, some new things I discovered. So some new info about Street Fighter 6 and my early impressions about Street Fighter 6. My personal feelings, I think it's great. I think the game's amazing. I think it's fun. It's really, really fun. I like the feel of the game. I'm telling you, it feels like a Street Fighter Mortal Kombat fusion game to me. It feels like it has some elements of MK11, but some elements of Street Fighter. Like Street Fighter 5 did the fusion dance. Not even Street Fighter 5. It feels like Street Fighter 5, 4, and Alpha 3. No, let's just say every Street Fighter game put together. It kind of feels like a mashup of a bunch of Street Fighter games, if I'm, like, trying to be clear. Because it has, obviously, like, parry. It has, like, drive impact, which is, like, focus attack. But it's different than focus attack. You know what I mean? It has all these different things you can do with meter. You have V reversals, even though they're called drive reversals. So it's like it seems like they took the good from every Street Fighter game, but didn't take the bad, and then took some of the took some of the good things that people say about Mortal Kombat and brought that over. Like I look at parry like a block button, but you have a meter for it. You know what I mean? I look at parry like that. A perfect parry like flawless blocking, right? It's very, very interesting. The game is really fun though. It feels great to play. I have no complaints. I would have played longer, but I jumped in the line like 30 times already. Like I was piecing it up with the Capcom guys. Shout out to them. I almost got my matches recorded to be put on the Capcom channel, but it didn't happen. It's all good though. But anyway, I don't want to talk y'all heads off about this video. I'm going to be playing Street Fighter 6 again tomorrow. So if you have any questions, any suggestions, anything you want me to try, please let me know. And if I see it, I will do my best to try it for you. I will do my best because today I went with a friend. Tomorrow I'll be by myself just playing against other people. So I can pick whatever character I want, do whatever I want, and just try things. I'm going to try to get there early so I can play as much as possible. But yeah, man, if y'all want me to try any characters, try any inputs, try any moves, try any techniques. Hey, can you do this? Does this work? Can I do this button into this super? Leave a comment, like the video, and send it out to people so they can ask me things. Post it on Twitter or whatever. But anyway, I've probably already been talking way too much, so I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. Street Fighter 6 is lit. I had a blast. I hope y'all have a blast. I'm going to get out of here. JSF, I'm outie. Peace.